Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and
Randy.
And we are
The Happy Healthy Guys.
Welcome. Today is going to be it's going to be a great episode. I'm looking forward to this because one of the things that we get asked so often is, how do I navigate the holidays? How do I make sure that I'm being metabolically healthy, healing my metabolism during the holidays? What foods can I eat? What foods should I not eat? How do I do this? In fact, we were just with a few of our Happy Healthy for Life clients, and we were they live here locally, and they had asked us. They were actually at our retreat a few weeks ago in Tulum, and they were with us there. And one of the questions that they asked us is, they're like, what is it that you guys eat? How do you navigate going to the grocery store? What are you guys choosing during the holidays? And so we met them at a grocery store here last week, and we went grocery shopping.
We did.
With them. We literally spent 3 hours with them navigating the store. And I'll tell you, for them, it was mind-blowing. Even though they've been in our metabolism program, and they've done remarkably well in the metabolism program. And we were talking about, okay, what does life look like after the program? Once we do get you to an established, good, healthy metabolic thermostat, then how do I navigate this? And as we're going through there, even though they're still members of our program, they're like, wow, I never knew this stuff. I never knew what I should be looking for on the labels, what I shouldn't be looking for on the labels. They were also surprised to know that there were things that they were like, oh, I don't know if I should eat that. And they were really excited to know that they could.
Yeah.
So it was a great time.
Yeah, I think one of the takeaways that we got was, and we'll talk about it more, was they were excited to know the brands of things they could purchase. So, we're big believers in supporting companies and brands and local farms and ranchers, people that really do quality work, that don't cut corners. Nothing drives me more bonkers than any company or industry that just kind of gets by or cuts corners or, deceives the public just to make a dollar. One thing about us with Happy Healthy, we don't have a lot of products, but everything we make is clean, it's pure, it meets our standard, because we want to make sure that everything we recommend meets our standard and that we would take it and use it ourselves. So we were going through the store, we were at Central Market, looking and identifying these brands of foods. So obviously a lot of the real foods you're buying isn't going to have necessarily a brand, but it is okay to have foods that are packaged as long as they're healthy. So I'll give you an example. One of the brands that they have at the store is I believe it's Thousand Oak Hills, and that is a regenerative ranch where they actually do things humanely and actually raise cattle that are grass-fed, grass-finished, rotated. That's great for the soil. That helps fix all the carbon and the nitrogen into the soil. So that's a great company, and they sell ground beef. They sell ancestral products that are the ground beef that you mix in like organ meats with it, like heart and liver, which we always recommend. They also had, and I had this, I don't know if you've tried it yet, but they've got the beef bacon from that place. So, people think, well, can I have bacon? Well, yes and no. Is the bacon, raised on pigs that have been fed a bunch of genetically modified soy and corn that are full of seed oil? Or are these pigs or cows that have been raised sustainably and holistically? So I think the brands, in fact, we may even put out our top brands of foods that you can trust. Now, listen, always read the label, but brands matter, and the quality brands, you want to be able to look at those and identify those and be like, okay, I like the stuff that they're making. And then that gives you the idea that, hey, maybe everything else they're making is clean as well. That's not always true, but it usually is a good rule of thumb.
It's a great rule of thumb. So let's talk about this. Okay, so as we're navigating the holidays, how do we prioritize the foods that we're putting into our body to be able to make sure that they are metabolically healthy foods? And I think one of the questions that I know we're going to get, and we get it all the time, is, all right, during the holidays, what if I'm going to a holiday party that happens to be at a restaurant? how do I pick foods at the restaurant that are going to be metabolically healing for me and not disrupt my metabolism because I ate them at a restaurant? So what are some things that people need to do in order to navigate restaurants during the holidays?
Yeah, well, number one, go online and pull up their menu. See what they're offering, what quality foods are even available to you. You might be surprised. A lot of restaurants do have quality sources of certain ingredients and certain meats and certain entrees, but you want to look at the menu, number one. So you're going into it with a plan. Just showing up without a plan can sometimes be very dangerous.
That's a plan.
That's a plan to fail, right? That's the non-planned plan, which is a plan to fail. So yeah, so look at the menu, and you're going to be wanting to navigate and look at, do they have some type of a ruminant animal? Do they have lamb? Do they have beef? Right? Do they have, free range or organic chicken? Do they have wild caught fish? If it's farm raised fish, you want to avoid it. Obviously, you're not wanting anything deep fried, but look at the menu. So you're going there and you know what's going on. And then obviously, when you get to the restaurant and you've kind of already made your decisions and you know what you're walking into, what's the number one thing you want to ask your server when they come to you and say, hey, are there any food allergies at the table?
The number one thing you want to say is yes,
Yep.
I am allergic to seed oils. Please make sure the chef prepares all of my food without seed oils. I'm very allergic to that. And you know what? Nowadays, they just say, okay, they write it down on their little pad. They go back to the back. Sometimes you may even have the chef that's going to come out
That's happened a lot.
to ask you about that, because for them, you think about the liability associated with that. As soon as you say yes to that question, they got to make sure that you're not going to die there in the restaurant. So they're concerned about that. And the reality is this, and we've had people say to us before in the past, they've been like, that's lying to them. What
No.
if you're not allergic to that? Well, that's not lying at all. You are allergic to seed oil. You're allergic to industrial petroleum, fuel, and oil. Guaranteed. It's not supposed to be in your body. That right there is does not occur naturally in nature. It is a lubricant for for machinery that's not supposed to be inside your body, and you are definitely allergic to that. So don't be afraid to say that. You're not misleading anybody. You're not lying. Your body just doesn't know what to do with that. And so if you're really concerned about your metabolic health, gaining weight or slowing down your weight loss during the holidays, you got to make sure that you're staying away from the seed oils.
Yeah, and use that word allergy. You are allergic. It is a metabolic poison, no question about it. Even got a comment here from Margie. Thanks for the comment here. Yeah, they cook. They're using canola oil. And guys, canola oil is an industrial seed oil. There actually is no canola plant, by the way. It's actually rapeseed. And rapeseed is very high in a fatty acid called erucic acid. Erucic acid is a heart poison and a heart toxin. So the rapeseed plant is genetically engineered and hybridized to actually reduce the erucic acid content because it's so deadly to the human body. So Canadian canola oil is Canadian oil, low acid. That is what canola oil is. It's been high heated. It's been genetically modified. It's been, chemically extracted at high temperature. It is literally a metabolic toxin and a poison. And I don't know about you, Dr. Rob. I work way too hard at being meticulous with my health. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be fragile. I want to be able to adapt to certain stresses, but I work too hard to go out to eat over the holidays and just, stick my head in the sand, because if you do, you're going to get just crushed with industrial seed oil. So ask them, let them know you've got an allergy, look at the menu. Don't mess around with this stuff, because remember, it's not that you can eat it and then start over fresh tomorrow. It has a 680-day half-life.
So you can start 680 days from that day.
Yeah, so after 680 days, half of it's still in your tissue, in your cell membranes, in your mitochondria. This is a metabolic poison. It actually slows down your metabolic rate. You want nothing to do with this oil, so don't blow it at the restaurant. So, and it's a lot easier to do now because more people are actually saying something. And if we all start saying something, more people are going to have to meet the demand and start making food without this crap oil in it.
Yeah, and there's apps out there that you can be able to look up if that restaurant does serve food without canola oil. I think it's called Seed Oil Scout is an app that you can be able to take a look at. And so if you do have the app, if you are at a restaurant that doesn't use seed oil or is willing to cook without it, then definitely upload that into the app because it helps other people know which restaurants to go to in your area. So it helps everybody out with that. So go ahead and do that. And then I love what Margie just said as well. She said she's eating before and having a small appetizer to share time with friends. Great planning ahead. So yeah, just plan ahead. If you're going to a holiday party, same thing. You know what's going to be served at the holiday party, and so eat ahead. That's what I love to do as well because I also know that I don't want to be tempted by anything that's there as well. So I'll eat ahead of time. And I've even been known to go to holiday parties and bring even my own food. So if you've got it's like a potluck or something like that, you know what? Bring your own dish that you can be able to eat and eat the food that you brought. So that's another thing that you can do as well. If you're at the grocery store shopping, one of the things that we talked about was like foods that you want to stay away from. We're talking specifically even about produce. One of the things that people ask is, should I get this organic? Should I not get this organic? Organic's always going to be the right first choice, but if you don't have organic is not available, and let's say you're going to make sweet potatoes, for example. Well, you want to make sure that those sweet potatoes, you're peeling the sweet potatoes. Nothing wrong with eating a sweet potato, but just make sure that that sweet potato is very well cooked as well. And so that's a healthy option. But bananas, well, you don't have to worry about the toxins as much on the banana because it's got a really thick exterior skin. You can peel that. Eat that banana. So you can still eat that. So there's foods that you can eat, but you just need to plan ahead before you just haphazardly start picking things.
Yeah, no question. In fact, another thing you can do as well is you can actually take your own oil. Now, we have a 4-ounce jar of SCT oil that I mainly use. A lot of you use it just for cosmetic purposes to put on your face, to moisturize your face. It's the only thing that I use on my face. But you can also take that, put that in your purse or take it with you. Ask the chef if they'll cook your food in the SCT oil. Obviously SCT oil is the perfect cooking oil because it's got such a high smoke point and a very low peroxidation rate. So you can heat it to high temperature. You're not going to break it down. Another thing you can also do around SCT oil is we used to do a program called Sugar Cravings Terminated.
Yeah.
Do you remember that program?
I do.
And it was, of course, SCT, which obviously doesn't stand for that. It stands for short chain triglycerides. But our Sugar Cravings Terminated program was rich in SCT oil because one thing you can do because of the satiety that it creates and the impact that it does on the gut, the liver, and making sure that your body's full is you could take a tablespoonful of SCT oil before you leave to go out to the restaurant. What that's going to do, it's going to start priming your gut, your brain, and your liver for fat burning. And so you're going to start craving more fat and protein and have less sugar cravings. So that's another thing that you can do before going anywhere. Grab a tablespoon or two of SCT oil, throw it in your coffee right off the tablespoon. Perfect way to help knock out some of those ridiculous cravings, or just don't be around them. Like you said, I already told my mom last night, I talked to her on the phone. She hosts Thanksgiving at her house every year out on the 40 acres. And I'm like, Mom, are we going to have all the healthy food options? And she's like, yeah. She goes, it's funny because a lot of the family members have been asking, because everybody brings dishes. They want to know if we're going to have the healthy turkey that my mom's make, this casserole that she makes that's seed oil free, this cranberry relish dish that she makes. Everybody's now requesting all the healthy food. So I was looked at as an idiot 10 years ago. Now, 10 years later, everybody wants to eat like me, or at least a few people do.
I love that. So yeah, that'd be a great thing just to even have the tablespoon of SET oil before eating Thanksgiving dinner. And so, yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah, create that have that healthy satiety for you as well. So, there's definitely things that you can do, things that are metabolically healing. You can even go back and listen to old podcasts us talking about SET oil, eating, the healthy proteins to be eating, healthy fats, getting that in there. We're not saying don't eat carbohydrates during the holidays, just making sure you're eating the right carbohydrates. But I think another thing that people, especially at this time of year, I'm thinking back even to this time last year when I was going through all of the stressful things going on with my dad, who had a series of strokes. And so that made the holiday season even more stressful. It's already stressful enough with everything that's going on. And so really making sure that you have some kind of mindful practices in place as you're going through the holidays, because what we know about increased stress in your body, when it's the bad stress, it's going to increase your cortisol levels. When you increase your cortisol levels, that's going to put you into fat storage, but it's also going to increase your cravings for sugars.
Yep.
Speaking of cravings, your cravings
Absolutely.
for breads, cravings for those different types of things. And I don't know about you, but the more stress that I have, the more anxious then I also become, and that also creates me wanting to do the nervous eating thing as well. So I've got to make sure that I'm, every single morning I'm getting up in the morning and I'm doing my meditation practices. I meditated this morning. I did breath work this morning as well. I got outside. I walked in nature. Speaking of walking, that's another thing that people can do during the holidays is get your walking after meals in.
Yeah, or like our good friend Margie says, you can actually now, instead of wham, walk after meals, you can dance after meals. When we were in Tulum, Mexico with our VIP clients. I mean, you're all VIPs, but our ones that were there at the retreat, Margie was one of them, and she's on today. And we were sitting. Remember when that?
Yeah, I
And she's
do.
like,
I do.
"Yeah, the new
That's
the new strategy is damn." So Margie, I'm giving you credit. I told you the first 5 times. After that, it's all ours. And we're going to take the credit for that. But seriously, get your body moving. One of the worst things you can do is you end up with at your whoever's hosting or family and friends are together. You eat this big meal full of all these toxins and seed oils and all these chemicals and just the fake food. And then you pass out on the couch and nobody's moving and really nobody's even getting to know each other or catching up. When I get to see family that I only get to see a lot of them one time a year, I want to feel great. I want to be energetic. So I guarantee you, I'll be walking, I'll be out. And of course, where I'm going to be out in the country. So probably going to ride horses, go fishing, walk around, be outside. Hopefully we'll have a beautiful day. But yeah, keep your body moving. Don't let that time happen where you just abandon all of your principles. Because I think a lot of times, Dr. Rob, we've had people ask us, or say, what do you tell yourself going into the holidays? And really, I don't really tell myself anything. I really ask myself good questions. And I ask, what's this going to look like if every year I go into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's without a plan and I just eat a bunch of crap food? I'm literally potentially knocking out a fourth of my life out. I'm asking, what does this look like if I go into this unintentional and I'm actually building disease in my body because I'm building a life that isn't intentional? And we already know what happens when you're not intentional with your food choices, with your exercise, with your lifestyle. We already know what happens. It's called chronic disease and illness. So I really look at the risks to me and my family of not doing the right things. And I don't want to take 2 to 3 months every single year through the holidays and just completely abandon my health principles.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, as you're saying that you've created literally a community of happy, healthy people around you as far as your family goes, and so I think that's
Yeah.
important to note as well. Is going through the holidays, it's important that you are around like-minded people who do share the same beliefs that you do, so that they can be able to hold you accountable to do the things that you said that you were going to do, and not
Mhm.
be afraid to call you out. For us in the position that we're in, because people do know what it is that we do.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
expecting they're
Right.
expecting that from us, and so we can't go home for the holidays and slack off because our family knows what it is
Oh
that we
my
do
God.
for a living. So that's accountability right
Yeah.
there. But you're right. It's like, even let's say you're with family, you're having an evening and you go to sleep later than you would normally go to sleep. It doesn't mean that you don't get up the next morning at the time that you said that you were going to get up. You still do those things, right?
Yeah.
And so now, something that we do is, if we're wearing something like a wearable that's letting us know how our sleep is, it may say, hey, you got a little bit less sleep, so your sleep percentage went down. Well, that just means that, what I'm going to do the next day? I'm going to take a nap, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to get up in the morning and do my earthing, my sun gazing, my meditation, my journaling, my prayer. All of those practices right there are very important in order to be able to have good metabolic health through the holidays and decreasing that stress. And so that's what I was saying when I first started talking about this, is as my dad was going through that last year, I was still intentional about doing all of those things every single day, because I knew with what it is that he had going on, I needed to make sure that I was taking care of me more so in that period of time than ever in my life, because I still am responsible for my kids, my family, right? I got to make sure that I'm at the top of my game, and I can't let myself go down just because it's supposed to be a stressful time of year. And what was going on with my dad, even though you know what you have is you have an excuse to do it, but an excuse doesn't make you immune to losing your own health. And so it's just really important to make sure that you are taking ownership of your own health. Here's the thing, guys. You create your future. You create your entire life. You are responsible for your life. So you can't be a victim to you losing your health, because you know what? You're the one that's responsible for it.
Yeah, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And knowing that health is the normal and disease is the abnormal already puts you in a position to walk, think, and act differently. I like what you said. Can you imagine if I showed up at Thanksgiving and I'm eating all this dessert, this processed sugar, and I'm eating foods and that are just laced with seed oil and all these different casseroles and all these, heck, I don't even know what half that stuff is sitting in there on the dining room table. But can you imagine if I did that? My family would look at me like, has this guy lost his mind? Like, who kidnapped Randy and replaced him with this imposter? So remember, a lot of you guys, you are the one, right? Dr. Rob, you're the one for your family. I'm really the one for my family. A lot of you guys, you are the one. You are that change agent that you can actually go in and make a big difference in your family, because people are going to watch you. So I like that accountability on me. And once you have that accountability and you decided you're no longer just going to go through life and just kind of do what everybody else does, it's a really powerful thing because it becomes a part of who you are.
Yep.
And I love that because I don't have to think about eating good or eating bad. I eat real food. And that's another simple thing you guys can focus on, just simply eating real food. Remember, if the food doesn't go bad in a couple weeks, it wouldn't be real. The food should spoil. So focus on proteins and vegetables and fruits and healthy fats, and bring those things to the party. Be the one, be that change agent, set the tone for your family, break patterns in your family, right? This is what I want to do, because like you were talking about your dad, I still can't believe Big Rob is gone, man. This is insane. That was preventable. That was 100% preventable. We've all lost people that we love and that we care about to lifestyle related conditions. It's not because they got a bad poker hand. It's really because we just broke laws of health over many, many years. And at some point, your body will no longer adapt and break down. So go into the holidays and don't think of it as punishment. Think of it as an opportunity to lead, inspire, and honor God with your body. And I'm telling you right now, you'll have a better experience, because I want to be around friends and family. Like I said, I don't get to see a lot of my friends and family, but maybe this one time of the year, I want to look and feel my best and get the most from those experiences. So that is, I'm excited about Thanksgiving. I got to tell you.
I am. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all the holidays. I'm really excited about this time of year. So there you go. So right there, just prioritize the foods and the nutrients that you're putting into your body over the holiday season. Plan ahead of time, right? No plan is a plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, somebody else has a plan for you. I guarantee you that, right?
Big Pharma.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then Don't manage your holiday stress, because there is going to be stress. So when you're managing it, well, that's not helping you. I'd say, make sure that you're being intentional in order to prevent the stress from affecting your body. So you're better equipped to overcome that. And then keep your body moving, keep doing the things that you would normally be doing outside of the holidays, like you said, because if you're not, and you're giving yourself permission to take a vacation over the holidays when it comes to your health, and you're going to also make it easier for you to give yourself a vacation when Valentine's rolls around, or when spring break rolls around, or
Mother's
St.
Day,
Patrick's Day,
spring break,
so-and-so's birthday. Yeah, all of those different things. And next thing you know, 25% of your life is spent on this vacation from your health. And so don't do that. Go through the holidays, be intentional with your health. We're here for you. If you're not a part of our Happy Healthy group, you know what? Go to h2thinvirtual.com and find out how to be in our Happy Healthy group. Shameless plug right there. Not so shameless, because these are the healthiest people that you will ever meet. If you're curious and you don't know how your metabolism is doing right now, go to metabolismscore.com, and that'll tell you exactly how your metabolism is doing. And if there's a problem, we'll give you strategies and things that you can do to overcome your metabolic dysfunction that you're having right now. And then, as always, if you have any questions, comments, go to the H2 Life on Instagram, the H2 Life on Instagram. DM us, ask us your questions. If you know somebody who you'd like for us to be on their podcast, we've been guests on a lot of podcasts recently, been recording like crazy content. We're going to put that out for you. Definitely share that person with us. We want to talk to them. Or if you have somebody that you want them to be on our podcast, let us know. We've got a podcast interview this afternoon. We've been interviewing a lot more people as well. You know what? Our mission, we just want to share the happy, healthy message.
Yeah, we got an awesome podcast later today on a good friend of ours, a recent connection that I'm excited about a lot. I would say in closing too, just make sure this time of year, and it's a shame that a lot of times we wait for this time of year, even the holiday called Thanksgiving, but make sure that you're practicing and consuming plenty of vitamin G. All right, vitamin gratitude, the most nutrient deficient vitamin that I think we all suffer with at times, and too many people do. We have so much to be thankful for. I think every morning for me, that's a part of my, my stress adaptation strategy, is starting out thinking about all the things that I'm thankful for. It's really simple exercise, but just if you can't think of it, just sit down maybe and write out 5-10 things that just the fact that you're able to get out of bed, walk to the bathroom and use the bathroom. The fact that the sun's out today, that you're a brother, you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a sister. Think about all the things we have in life that we just take for granted. Don't do that. Practice vitamin gratitude. It is healing to the soul, mind, body, and spirit. And I don't have the data to support this, but I can promise you the people with the most gratitude usually have the best health and the best metabolisms, because it goes hand in hand. So practice gratitude, but not just this time of year. Let's take this into next year as well. Vitamin G, baby.
Love it. Happy holidays.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram at the H2 Life, or on YouTube and Facebook at the Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.